Hi, welcome everyone to our info session for admission for spring 2026. Really happy to see you all here. My name is Nikki or Nicola Casserly. I'm the registrar for the Wilmette Institute, also student services coordinator, and I am in New York. And we're going to have some more introductions here. I'm going to pass it over to Justin to introduce himself.
Hi, everybody. It's really nice I know like at least one or two of you, but it's nice to meet the new people. I work at the Women Institute. I am the academic officer, so I help create and teach and evaluate our courses. I hope we can share all the information you need to register this evening.
So really welcome. We have about half an hour worth of slides here. As we go through, if you have a burning question about what was said in one slide, you can raise your hand or otherwise contact us and ask your question. And there'll also be a little time at the end for asking more questions. So please feel free to ask your questions as we go along. This is all about your information of what you need to know before you apply. So please don't be afraid to speak up. And you can ask questions of either myself, of course, or Justin. So here we have our little team. It's Justin and me with other members of our team who I hope you will meet soon. And that's at our office in Wilmette, actually in Evanston, Illinois. And you can see our logo there. And we're looking very proud because we're there just meeting together and enjoying each other's company whenever we get together. So our mission is displayed here, and I'm sure you've read it on our website. We're going to be equipping higher education learners with the capacity to contribute to social transformation and public discourse through our distinctive non-degree certificate programs that are grounded in an evolving Baha'i framework for collective learning. And you can ask as many questions as you want about this. We're not going to be able to answer all of them tonight, but I will say that those who join our certificate program, the first thing you do is an orientation module, and that module prepares you for the whole program by helping you to explore what that means, what Baha'i framework for collective learning means. And that's a basis of all our courses on our pedagogy, which Justin will tell you more about. The next slide talks in more detail about the certificate program and the pedagogy. So I don't know if we want to just take that slide first and then have questions because these two slides kind of go together. So I will move along and Justin, take it away.
Yeah, I wanted to share in that last slide too
Mhm.
that the concept of contributing to public discourse is also something that might be really new for a lot of people. And it's right there in the middle of our mission statement. This is kind of
Mhm.
our the focus of everything we do. Is we want to raise capacity in our students to be able to contribute to public discourse, and so we like Nikki was mentioning, just mentioned, we have an orientation module that provides a ton of information and background and understanding about this and how it works and what we expect of each of you and how like yeah what's going to happen in our program, or how we help raise this capacity in our students. So yeah, there might be some new kind of concepts or things here, but we do have a really nice orientation course that's self-study, so you can take your time and do it for as long as you want and go back, and you always have it as a reference, and it'll give you a really good idea of what all these things mean.
Good point.
Um, Yeah, I this slide says it all. Our program is tuition free. It's fully online. What online just means that our interaction is online and your interaction with the resources that we assign is online. But it doesn't mean that you don't do things in your local community, because you do. Our program is very practical, and our pedagogy entails going out into the community and getting involved in certain organizations that are near you. And so that part is obviously not online. So the interaction with us is online, but interaction with your community, and this is up to you who you interact with in your community. And this is something we kind of, we talk about, we'll talk about a lot and give you a lot of support with. But that part is definitely not online. This is a graduate level program, and so we just want to make sure, like the purpose of this orientation that we're doing right now is to make sure that you feel this program is a good fit for your needs and your desires, right? And we also, through our application process, we want to get to know you to make sure at least to the best of our perception that you're a good fit for what we're trying to do as well because we want our students to be successful and happy. And so we one of the things that we've noticed is that maybe some of our students have had there's been a long time since they've studied their graduate work, and so we just want to make sure that it's really clear. This is a graduate level course. It's fairly demanding. Um, and so, yeah, again, like I was explaining earlier, we will have resources. So these will be videos or podcasts or readings or articles and things like that that we'll assign online. But then we will also have action. And we'll ask you to go out and get involved, like I said, in organizations in your community, and it'll be your action. It'll be your action, the action component of our program, and we'll give you lots of guidance and support around that. Yeah, we go pretty deep into these to specific ideas, and what we're looking for are underlying assumptions and root causes of social issues. We're going to look at the kind of the spiritual and material foundations of these topics that you'll look at the course. You'll see the course topics in a few minutes. But you'll see that we look at these from a spiritual and material perspective at the same time. And that might be new for some of you. For some of you, it might not be new. But yeah, we take our time and go pretty deep on these topics. Um, and yeah, what this means is that we're looking for people who are have a desire to uh, make a difference in
Mhm.
their community and therefore in the world and people are looking we want students are looking for a program that'll help them feel like empowered that they can rise up and make a difference where they are. Yeah.
Any questions for Justin on that? Nope. All right.
You have a question in the chat, Nikki. I don't know how you're going
I
to look at it,
do.
but
Let me see. Let me see. I can find it. I just need to concentrate on what I'm doing here. There it is. Okay. Rhode Island. Is Rhode Island on our list? I would have to stop sharing to find that. Um, it is on the website. Let me double check. I will give you an answer, Janelle.
You don't have to check. I can check the website myself. Sorry to interrupt.
And if you don't see your state in the list, what we say is you can still apply. We have been applying to each state. Each state has different requirements. And in many cases, we have to make quite a involved application to that state, to the education authorities in that state. We have to fill out some forms, pay some money, and spend a little time, until they make their decision and get back to us. We haven't had anyone say no yet, as far as I know.
That is.
So if you apply for spring and we can't get authorized in that state in time, we can defer your registration until the next semester. So if you really do wish to apply, even if the state is not on the list, I encourage you to go ahead and start the application now, because we won't know who wants to apply until you apply. So, and then we go state by state to get those states
Well,
on our list.
well,
And the hourly commitment per week is on the next slide. So is there any other question?
Is this the first
I don't see.
this program has been offered?
No, we started in 2023. So on the next slide, you'll see
2023.
that we have several graduates of the program already.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm
So
sorry. I don't see any other slides. He said that the hourly commitment was on the
it's on the
slide.
next slide. So I'm going to change
Oh, you
slides
haven't got
right
to
now.
it yet. Okay.
okay.
We're
Academic.
getting there.
Thank you.
There you
All
go.
right, so this is it now. So a certificate will be awarded to those who complete any of the 3 courses. You have 2 years to do that. Any 3 courses, sorry, of the 4. There are 4 that are offered. So there are the titles of the courses. Some of them are quite long. So the first one on the left is about race, and we call it Redefining Race, Pathways to Collective Advancement. And that's being offered in spring 2026. The weekly study you can see at the bottom is 8 to 10 hours. And it's for 16 weeks. There will be breaks in those weeks, at least 1 break, and holidays and so on. But basically 16 weeks. And the last few weeks are usually preparing your project and your final paper and presenting that to the class. And the next one that's also being offered in spring 2026 is about education, transforming education, knowing, learning, and being. And then in the fall, we're offering 2 others as well, catalysts of social change, knowledge, action, impact, and sweeping changes in humanity's relationship with the natural world, which is my favorite. It's about environmental stewardship. And yeah, you can take any 3 courses in any order in the 2 years. And by next year, the year after next, by 2027, we're aiming to have, all 4 courses offered each semester. And so, but next year in the spring, starting January 21, 2026, we expect we will be running just those 2, the Redefining Race and Transforming Education. So any questions about that? I see something in the chat. Are there weekly meeting times? Yes, there are weekly meeting times. Usually they're on midweek in the evening, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock Eastern, which is 5 to 7 Pacific time and 7 to 9 in Central time. And typically on Wednesdays and Thursdays kind of days. And that's 2 hours. And so that would be included in your weekly study time. And then when you're not in class on a Wednesday or Thursday, you'll be doing those readings, watching those videos, listening to those podcasts, and also writing down your comments, your questions, your thoughts in the forums, which are asynchronous, which means you can write in them any time of day or night. Some people are morning people, some evening people. So, yep. And also responding to your peers in the forums and reflecting on what you've read and so forth. And of course, working on your project. There are other, there's something we call essential questions, which is really important to get into the habit of the sorts of discourse that is going on, the principles. They're very helpful. We provide those discussion questions and you respond to them each week. There'll be a new set of questions for you. And of course, you can ask your own questions. So any comments or questions on this slide before we move on?
Hey, yes, hi. My
Welcome,
name is
John.
John Professor. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm currently just currently been studying AI and other fields. So I'm interested. I've been in this section just entirely for 20 minutes. So
Oh, welcome.
Okay. I go by John or by the first name I usually be weekly announced.
John. Great. All right. I think we're going to move on. Let's see what's next. This is about eligibility requirements. Apart from, I mean, the main eligibility requirements, as far as I'm concerned, is that this is a program that you think will fit you, and you're a good fit to us because you have not just the educational and language and residency requirements, but this is something you're passionate about learning and experiencing. But as Justin had said earlier, it is a graduate level program, so you have to have associate's degree or higher, or be currently enrolled, or at least had at least 2 years completed of a bachelor's program. The language, again, we are teaching and learning in English, so you need to have a good command of the English language. Most people who have been studying in English are okay in their English language. So we don't ask you to prove it if you have been studying in English and if English is your mother tongue.
Okay.
But if it is not, and if you have not studied in English at the college level, then you need to take a test and send us the results. Residency, Canada, all provinces are eligible, and there are several US states, most of the states, where we are authorized to operate. So you can check that on the website. As we mentioned earlier too, we've been doing this for 2 years. At least in the last 2 years, we've had about 40 students have gone through more than one course each, and 13 have completed the program, and they've come from about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different states. California, Maryland, New York, North Carolina, Tennessee, Montana, Texas. So those are where we have our graduates coming
So,
from.
Nikki, it's been 3 years.
It's been 3 years. You're right.
I'm just
2023,
curious.
2024, 2025. I can't count.
I'm just curious because I hadn't heard about this before.
Mhm,
And I'm pretty active in the Atlanta community.
mhm.
Was just wondering, where was this information given? Because I just got this email today.
Oh. So you weren't a recipient of our Wilmette Institute newsletter then. We
I am.
thought we had. Okay, we've been talking about it since 2023 or before. Yeah.
I'm doing my own little investigating on the AI too.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you got that email. Did someone send it to you or?
No, it just popped up, and so I said,
Okay.
I'm home tonight. I can do it. I'm a member of the Korean Baha'i book club, but I never can go. I'm too busy. But
Yeah.
I just happened to be home today, so
Mhm.
decided to participate.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Please share it with others in Atlanta who may not know about it.
Yeah, I will.
Sure. All right. Any other questions or comments? And this is a wonderful picture here. This is one of our faculty, Ema Sumac, Marianne Davis. She will be teaching the course on race, redefining race in 2026. And Justin, you'll be teaching the education course. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yep. And these are actual students. And we saw on another slide. And there's me. I'm a student in class. All right. The application process. Okay, I'm going to do this pretty quickly. So our application form now has 2 stages, makes it much easier for you. It doesn't take as long for each, to upload your ID in the first stage. And then after that, we want an unofficial transcript. You don't need to do an official one till after your interview. And there's an essay. You can choose from 5 topics. And there is information on the website, which you can find about what those topics are. We also have an admission support session. A couple of you have been to our admission support session. Here it is. You can register for the last one right now. The last one will be next week, December 9th, on a Tuesday again. So I would encourage you, if you are planning to apply, to register for that.
Support.
There will be an admissions interview for everyone. This is conducted via Zoom. So we get to know you better after reading your essay and so on. And then the final decision will be made by our admissions committee. There is a rubric. And I just wanted to say the last thing about this is that there is support for students. I want to make this clear. We don't leave you alone. We have tips, actually, which we've just asked our graduates and our students to give us their experience and their advice on what they would say are the top tips that they found helpful for them. And we have a document we share with our new students, and there will be support from peers and graduates. And of course, the faculty will have office hours. You can contact them for assistance and also admin support from myself in the Office of Student Services on demand. So
I think is it Jean wanted to know if there was a link that he could visit right now.
yes, there is a link to go there now. Okay, to the website. I will share the link to become a student in a minute. All right. And there is a lot of information there on the application process, and of course, links to the application form. And you will get a copy of this slideshow and of the recording as well. All right. Are there weekly meetings? Yes, we did that. Is there a link to go on there now? I will send the link before the night is out, okay? And this is Justin's slide.
Okay, well, there's not much to say here. We have two testimonies, or actually 4 testimonies. So the first one is their little written testimony here by a current student of ours. Her name is Julia Berger. She is a professor in New Jersey. She says, I'm greatly enjoying the course. She's taking her first course with us right now, not only for its incredibly engaging content and my wonderful classmates, but for the coherent and intentional pedagogy, which is challenging me to think about coherence between content and process. So happy I was able to join this semester. So that's our first student voice. And then I assume, Nikki, you're going to put play on the video. We're going to hear a few more students.
Right, I will. All right, here we go.
I think that what sort of has stayed with me the most in the course has been this extended emphasis on understanding the foundation of worldview. It's a whole nother thing to accept another person's view of the world as true, as equally true as my own view of the world. And I honestly believe that that really is the beginning of a genuine transformation. So I appreciate how the Wilmette Institute is trying to create more space to go into depth on concepts that are really essential for the transformation of society.
I also want to say that I'm very, very happy to be amongst all of you and your contribution on your forums. So we'll never be the same as we were yesterday. And this is very, very special to just have that consciousness. And that gives us great responsibility. All of us are collaborators into this work. And it's really a blessing. It's really a blessing. I'm so grateful that the Wilmette Institute is able to educate us and give us food for our soul. Thank you.
At the end was our website address, wilmetteinstitute.org. It's pretty easy to remember. And there'll also be at the last slide, we will see that. Ima Sumac was unable to join us tonight. She has another commitment on Tuesdays, but of course, Justin is here. And I don't know if he wants to add anything to this little reflection here from the faculty.
No, no, not really. I think that that's well written and clear. This is an academic program, but it's also it's very nourished by spirituality and understanding of this kind of this balance between material and spiritual, between science and religion. So we really draw on both of these sources for everything we do, and I think you'll really appreciate how we're trying to seek that balance and understand how both science and religion can really inform everything we do in a way that's harmonious. So yeah, that's I guess in a nutshell, that's what we do.
And we have one person just coming in. I think they may have gotten their time zones mixed up. Welcome, welcome, Saeed. We are just finishing. Thank you. We have our phone number, our website, our email, and I'm gonna just stop sharing so I can get this web address in the chat and we can take some more questions.
Maybe one thing I can add is that this is again, it's a graduate level program. We are going through a process of accreditation. And because we're going through a process of accreditation, we do need to submit grades as proof of passage when people go from one course to the other. And so, yeah, this is it's a course, it's a program that's graded. So we do, we're reluctant to give grades. We don't want to replicate kind of the weaknesses of our current educational system. But at the same time, by asking for accreditation, we're kind of saying that we want to be part of the current educational system. So we're kind of walking this fine line. It's kind of a difficult balance, but yeah, we do grade. And so I just wanted to be really, really clear about that, not have that be a surprise when people sign up.
Thanks, guys. I have to step out. I'll be looking forward to the do I apply with that link? Is that where I apply? I can't hear you. You're mute, Nikki.
Apologies. Yes, Janina, you can find the links on that page to apply.
Okay. I'm on my phone. So
it's wilmetteinstitute.org, and you go there
okay.
and it's really
Okay, it's
simple.
on the Wilmette Institute.
Exactly. And then you'll see a link that
Gotcha.
says become a student, and everything's in there about application and enrollment and everything.
Okay, thank you guys.
It is very
All right.
easy
What
to
I want
apply.
to say was thank you for for the whole section and everything, to know all the experience and knowledge of the faculty and in with the courses, and also with the link that was provided on Zoom. So I have to go, but thank you very much. I hope to see you guys again
You're
pretty soon.
welcome. You're
Really nice
welcome.
meeting you, Gene.
Nice meeting you too.
I'm gonna put the link in here too for the admission support sessions.
Okay.
It's a registration link, just like this one was. You register
all
in
right.
advance, and we'll send you reminders nearer the time.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
got it. But
And everyone will get
yeah.
an email anyway afterwards. But tomorrow we should have the recording ready, and we'll send it out with the slides and send
All
out a
right.
link.
Okay. Well, thank
Okay.
you very
You're
much.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So this is your opportunity to ask any questions that we didn't answer.
Hi. I have a question about the process of I guess since I just got in with the Baha'i faith several months ago, and I've been working on reflections with some local members, is there, do you think that there's like an initial need, like a period that I should wait before maybe acclimating to the faith? Because I was raised Catholic, I still go to church. I joined the choir a couple months ago, actually on instruments. So, but I'm trying to figure out as well. I may actually send a lengthy email, something that maybe I could receive a call back to discuss matters that I think are pertinent to my case. It's a very special case, I feel, and I do wonder, I guess, if I should. Do you all uh, advise a person who's just joining Baha'i to, or it goes with
Justin is
it's the same
raring to
way.
answer this question.
Yeah,
So okay.
Eduardo, no se preocupe. This program is actually geared towards non-Baha'is.
Okay.
We are offering this program in universities, different universities around the country. And all of our students in those universities have never even, most of them never even heard of the Baha'i faith before. Okay. Now, in these sessions, most of the people that are on our lists are people that are Baha'is, and this is wonderful to have all the Baha'is here. This is really great. But at the same time, there is no prerequisite of knowledge
Okay.
about the Baha'i faith
Right.
to do well in our courses and to appreciate them and enjoy them and raise your capacity. We make no distinction in our courses between people who are knowledgeable or not so much, or Baha'is or not, none of that. We're very happy to have everybody, as long as they're a good fit for the program and they're really excited about doing the work and things like that. No, we don't make any distinction.
Okay. Thank you.
And we've had graduates from our program who are not members of the Baha'i faith. And thank you, Eduardo. Please feel free to send me an email anyway. But please, I'm looking forward to an application from you. Thank you. We have two people here actually who have finished their application. So I don't know. Charles was saying that he found it was fairly easy to
And
apply.
I am
So I
so
don't know.
eager. I am so eager for my application interview tomorrow. And Nikki is awesome. She's like, give me a straight good guidance the whole way through.
I've never
So
heard those words spoken together before, Charles.
Nikki's awesome.
No, no, no. I'm looking forward to
Okay.
my interview. My
I love an interview. I am just that
Wonderful.
kind of knucklehead.
Charles is very special, Justin.
All right. I think Dana she was like, I'm going to ask a question. Here we go.
Well, it's just a very simple question. How many students do you accept for this program?
Our cap for each course is 25.
25. And
So
do you,
far, we haven't gotten there. We haven't had to turn away people. So,
okay, thank you.
but of course, the earlier you apply, the better.
This
So,
last semester, I think we had like 15 in one course and like 10 in the other.
yep,
So we weren't able to fill the courses, but that's fine. We like small groups
small groups are
are
good. Yeah.
great. Yeah, no
Mhm.
problem.
And when there's more than a certain number, because we have a cap in terms of how many one instructor has to deal with. We have teaching assistants. We have graduates of our program who have made very good teaching assistants. So, yep, I don't know. I don't know how 25 would work. We'd have to have maybe an extra week to deal with all of the project presentation.
Yeah, well, I think we're gonna get there pretty soon. Our numbers are increasing with each semester. So,
That's true.
And could
um,
you give us an example of what a project might be?
yeah. Maybe Nikki, you have your own project right now, right?
Oh gosh.
Nikki is our current student of our course on environmental
Oh.
stewardship, and she's doing a wonderful project. So I think it'd be perfect for her to just tell you exactly what she's doing.
Well, as Justin mentioned earlier, actually having conversations with local people. So I didn't know anybody who was working in on environmental issues. So I asked around and I found an organization, and I went to meet with them and I volunteer in their community garden, on an almost weekly basis. And I have conversations with, the people who are members of that community. And yeah, it's been wonderful. So really, you find people who are, actually, taking part in the discourse and in the work of whatever the theme is the themes are always on social issues that are pressing. There are issues that, for instance, that, our Baha'i international community may have been, writing about and talking to people about, in different agencies, um, nationally and also internationally. And yeah, so there's a lot of, as you all know, in the news, there's been a lot of conversations about environmental issues, at the, you know, international and national levels. So there's discourse out there, and you have to get in on the ground level and see what people are doing and what people are saying, and learn to talk about the issues, and put in the Baha'i perspective in terms of what our um our thoughts are from the Baha'i writings on these various issues, because they do speak to them on a very, foundational level. Um, and what I think was best for me was to be able to look at, people that have different experiences and different worldviews. And most of the students that I've talked to have really been, excited about getting to talk to people who have a different worldview, a different perspective on life, because the diversity of perspectives is what makes, us stronger as a community. And the more diverse, the better. And a lot of people out there are understanding that and feeling that, whether they're members of, any faith or the Baha'i faith. There's more and more, a growing understanding, I think, of this need to take more than one perspective into account.
And Nikki, what's the organization called that you're volunteering
It's
with?
called Mazorca Colectiva, and I need to learn some Spanish because most of them speak mostly Spanish. Yes, so they're, a group that started out, to help others, who are immigrants to this country, who were having difficulties, and during the pandemic and all of that period, there was economic insecurity, and so they started a community, and, to really help each other to deal with the issues and the problems that they were having. Um,
Yeah, so basically how it works is that if you sign up for the course on race unity, then we're going to say, okay, go get involved with people who are addressing the issue of race unity in your community. Like go find people that are doing this and talk to them and get involved with them and learn from them. Because we want you to get involved, like Nikki was just saying, like understand, you know, the theory of change that people use, they're actually trying to do something in this issue. So we want you to get involved with them and learn from them. So what we do is we ask you to have around 4 conversations with these people during the semester. So it's one every 2 weeks, more or less. The first 3 conversations are basically you asking that person how they do things, what their strategies are, why they're doing it, what their history is, what kind of change they're expecting. Like you learning from that person. And then the last conversation is for you to share something from the course with that person that you think that person would really appreciate and and would be able to enhance what they're doing. And that's where you kind of think about, okay, what is your contribution to public discourse is when you're learning about what the discourse is, both theoretically and practically on the ground. and you're listening and learning to practitioners and activists and are doing things, and then you say, I learned something in my course that I think this person would really appreciate. And you bring that to them, and you share it with them, and then you sit down with them, and you talk with them about this. And it's usually something spiritual, because usually the projects that we get involved with are very materially oriented. They're really powerful and interesting, but they're mostly material. So bringing a kind of a spiritual perspective is also usually really powerful for people, and it opens their mind, and they're really happy to talk about these things. And yeah, I don't know. We've been doing this for 3 years now, and people have had just amazingly successful and eye-opening experiences in doing this. And so if you take the course on education, for example, we're going to ask you to do the exact same thing, but just with
With
education.
education.
Go get involved with somebody who's doing something that's, so right now, for example, I'm teaching the social change course, and I have a couple of students who are involved in criminal justice, and they're doing things with education in the juvenile justice system, for example. And they're sitting down and talking with people that are doing education, and they're finding that the laws are really interesting. Like, they're really, actually well written, but what happens on the ground is completely different. The education that these kids that are in the juvenile system, they're promised, doesn't happen, because
Mm.
the focus is much more on security than it is on education. And these organizations that are supposed to rehabilitate these youth mostly just focus on keeping them locked up and don't really give them any education to do any really rehabilitation. And so really interesting conversations around the kind of their theory of social change, and what they're achieving, and what they're not achieving, what they're frustrated by, and what we can learn from that, and how we can contribute to that discourse.
Well said.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Charles's hand is up. Yes, Charles.
Yes. And Nikki's heard me go on a little bit about this, but not completely. I'm just wondering if I'm getting my strategic planning out ahead of myself. Now, what's really drawn me to the social change, the certificate application process, is I want to be a lifelong student of the Harlem Renaissance. And as you may well know, Alain Locke, the father of the Harlem Renaissance, was a Baha'i well before he was the father of the Harlem Renaissance, which I thought was really neat. So anyway, it was my thought and hope, and I actually even have local connections. I think I can maybe and make perhaps all but the environmental course, maybe even that, have a Harlem Renaissance connection. Is that would that be too much, or is that a reasonable thought?
Justin?
I'm not real sure. It's a good question. So here's what happens, Charles. There actually is a really good question behind what you're asking. A lot of times our students, they have an initial idea of what their project, and they go to an organization and they knock on the door and nobody answers. Or people, they say, no, sorry, we can't have you. And then it's like, and they walk away dejected, like, oh no, my project is ruined. What am I gonna do? And then they come back and they ask us, and we're like, well, keep looking. It's a 16-week course, and we're asking you to have 4 conversations, so there's time, right? And so if you go to the organization that you're thinking of, and they say,
Actually,
yes.
I'm sort of off to the races. I'm talking to just one individual. She is the curator of the Ann Spencer Home Museum, and really neat. They have a big Harlem Renaissance connection, because all the figures stopped at that house at some point. And she's actually, like, from previous conversations, giving me points of contact at University of Virginia.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that sounds.
anyway.
Yeah, Charles, that sounds really great. Like, again, if you go to the organization and they say, "Yeah, welcome. We'd be happy to have a conversation with you," then, and your teacher in the course says, "Yeah, this is a good idea," because they're doing something on race or whatever the course. Like, if you're taking the course on education, and you go there and you can see that it's a museum and they're doing educational things, yeah, go for it. That's fine. But if you go there and you knock on the door and they say, sorry, we don't have anybody to attend or to help you, you're gonna have to look for another organization. Like that's how yeah, it's not that's the luck of the draw. It's how things go. And so if you need to be resilient is what I'm saying. You need to say, okay, that didn't work, but I'm gonna look for another opportunity. And that's kind of
Thank you.
yeah, that happens a lot. We had one student in Illinois a few months ago who went through like four different organizations. And finally, the fifth one, they were like, yeah, this, we'd be happy to have you come and join us. We're going to do some tree planting. And he's like, oh, finally. And so it took him, a lot longer than he thought it would take him, but he had a really successful project after that. So sometimes it's a little bit difficult to find people, but other times people, for example, I have this one young lady right now in class who is doing her project with her grandmother. Her grandmother is an activist and holds meetings every week in her house for Black women to talk about issues that are about around social change from a perspective of Black women. And this young lady that's in my class has been going to these meetings that her grandmother holds for years. And she never thought of it as like a social change project. She just thought they were nice meetings, right? But now she's doing the readings in our course and she's looking at social change from a whole different perspective. She's seeing how her grandmother is just deeply spiritual, but also very wise and experienced as an activist. And it's blowing her away. Like she didn't know how powerful and how meaningful what her grandmother was doing. And so, it's just there's the progress can take all kinds of you know they can look like lots of different things.
All right. Any more questions? We have like 6 minutes to the hour.
So would the next step be to attend the admissions support session a week from today? Would that be the next step to take?
Yes, I would say fill out the stage 1 application first and then attend, and then that will help you with your essay.
Oh,
You
okay.
can start writing your essay. There's guidance on the website for the essay, and of course the prompts for the essay. And we're very flexible. If you apply and you send in an essay and later on you want to send in a new essay because you've then gone to the admission support session and you feel like you could do a better job, we'll take an update and upgrade on your essay. So.
What is the essay about? What are you supposed to be writing about?
So you will see that on the website. I don't want to go into too much detail now, but it's right there. Let me just share the page for that.
We have like four options, I think,
I
four
think there's
topic
5,
options.
yeah.
5, yeah. So we just want to see what kind of a writer you are. Because there's so much writing in our course that we want to make sure that that you can write well and that you're not too dependent on Chat GPT. We're finding this is an issue right now. Many of our students are just turning in things that are generated by Chat GPT, and we have to say sorry, we're not gonna accept that. We need to see what your capacity, your writing capacity looks like. And so we've kind of had to go back and forth a little bit with some of our students about that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes,
I have
Charles.
a question. Oh, okay,
Charles and then Gallery. I'm sorry.
Sorry
No.
about that. I'll be quick, and I do need to tighten up my essay, but my interview is tomorrow. When should I expect the decision?
You should expect a decision within 1 to 2 weeks. Yes, Gallery?
I have completed the admission process. My essay, my interview, all is done. Do I need to participate in the admission support
No,
session?
you're already done. You're already done. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question. When a person is admitted, do they meet, are they kept in the group? Like, is it consecutive semesters? It's 2 semesters, right? Like, is that what
Right.
it is? Or
So each year right now our schedule is we have two semesters, active semesters for the year in January and in August. So we're not teaching right now over the summer. So you will have 2 years. If you are accepted, you will sign an enrollment agreement and you'll have 2 years to do those 3 courses. You can take, we recommend you take one course per semester.
Okay.
So you can take one each semester for 3 semesters and you'll be done in 18 months.
We have had
Okay.
students take 2 courses simultaneely
A
and
few
be
people,
successful, but you need like,
just two.
yeah, basically you need basically like that would be a part-time job. So
Yeah.
we don't recommend that unless you really have enough time to do it.
Okay.
So if you do 3 consecutive courses, it'll take you a year and a half.
Mhm.
If you, for some reason, cannot study during a semester, no problem. It'll take you 2 years. Like you can take one semester, off if something happens.
Skip it, yeah. Or if you do not pass, and then you can do it over. You can take that course over.
Yeah.
Instead of taking off for one semester, can one do the fourth course?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That would be ideal. That's what we want. We want everybody to take all the courses. And we're going to be adding more courses pretty soon as well.
That will be great.
Yeah. So that'll make it even harder to do in 2 years.
Okay, Dana, I think it's about that time as well that we should wrap up. So I hope to see you all on Zoom soon.